Hello, everyone. Where learning English is fun and really engaging.
Hi there. I'm excited, to dive into today's discussion. What are we exploring?
Today, we're talking about using the present perfect, a grammar tool that connects past actions to their present consequences.
Right. So it's like, bridging what happened with what matters now.
Exactly. For instance, I might say, I have had my breakfast, which means I finished breakfast earlier. And as a result, I'm not hungry now.
Yeah. And I could say, I have drunk 2 cups of coffee, showing that my drinking coffee, has me feeling energetic now.
Yes, that's a perfect example. Essentially, the present perfect is built with the structure. Subject plus have or has, and then the past participle of the verb.
So we've got I, you, we, and they using have, and he, she, or it using has, right?
Exactly. And the interesting part is how we form that past participle. For regular verbs, we just add ed, like check becomes checked, or clean becomes cleaned.
What about irregular verbs? They seem a bit trickier since they don't follow that pattern.
Right, irregular verbs are different. For instance, eat becomes eaten and drink becomes drunk. So when I say, I have had breakfast, the verb have, in this case, takes had as its past participle.
That's interesting. But don't you think that might confuse beginners a little?
Well, I mean, it can be challenging at first. But once you notice the pattern, like it's all about linking the past action to how you feel now, it starts to make sense.
Got it. Now, what about the negative form? How do we handle that?
Good question. In negatives, it's all about inserting not. For example, if I haven't eaten lunch yet, I would say, I haven't eaten lunch yet.
So the structure becomes subject, haven't or hasn't, and the past participle.
Exactly. And we often use the word yet in these negative sentences and questions to show that the expected event hasn't occurred up to now.
Yep, right. Like if I ask, have you finished your work yet? And if you haven't, you'd say, no, I haven't finished my work yet.
Perfect. And then there's already, which we add when something happens sooner than we expected. For example, you have already planned the podcast episode.
Oh, that's neat. So already is used to express a bit of surprise in positive statements.
Exactly. It's a way of emphasizing that the action occurred and influenced the present sooner than anticipated.
And what about just? That one always seems to capture something very recent, right?
Yes, just is fantastic for immediacy. For example, I have just received a message means it happened a minute ago, very recently.
It's like saying the result of that action is still fresh in the present moment.
Absolutely. So overall, you see that these little words, yet, already, and just, are essential in adding time context to our present perfect statements.
Yeah, right. They make the sentence richer by hinting at timing and consequences. Now, can we apply this to our daily routines?
Sure. Think of it like this. When you say, I have cleaned my apartment, the past action of cleaning leads to the present result of having a clean space. It naturally ties your recent activity to your current state.
And that's why describing everyday tasks using the present perfect feels so natural, like your morning coffee routine. I have drunk 2 cups of coffee, fueling your energy for the day.
Exactly. It's all about linking yesterday's actions with today's consequences. It creates a coherent narrative of time, almost like a story.
Speaking of stories, I sometimes wonder if this structure might come off as too formal or stiff in casual conversation.
I get what you mean, but trust me, in everyday talk, it's perfectly natural. It subtly highlights that something from the past is still relevant. For example, I have just talked to my mom implies that conversation is still fresh.
I see your point. It really emphasizes the present impact of the action.
Right. And there's also a nuance here. Sometimes people mistakenly use the simple past, like I ate breakfast, when the present perfect, I have eaten breakfast, would better emphasize the result.
True. The difference is subtle but important. The simple past is like a mere record of an event, whereas the present perfect shows that the event still matters now.
Exactly. It's like a snapshot of action whose effects linger in the now. It's a powerful way to tie the past to the present.
Yeah, and over time, with a bit of practice, these forms become as natural as, say, having a cup of coffee in the morning.
Totally. It's all about practice and repetition. Like if you keep saying, I have checked my email or I have cleaned my apartment, it becomes second nature.
Absolutely. And using these examples, listeners can really see how their daily routines are interconnected with this grammar.
Yep. Every action from a recent breakfast to a freshly cleaned room helps illustrate how our language links actions to outcomes. It's a little like storytelling in miniature.
Speaking of storytelling, I think it's fascinating how our grammar mirrors how we actually experience our day-to-day lives. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely. It captures that continuous thread between what we've done and what we feel now. I mean, if I say, I have already finished my project, it conveys readiness and a sense of completion.
Exactly. And that immediate sense of result, whether it's not being hungry anymore or feeling super awake because of coffee, makes the present perfect so relatable.
That's right. Even words like just bring in the sense of immediacy. It's like your phone just pinged with a notification. You could say, I have just received a message, and everyone understands that it was, well, really recent.
It's a neat grammatical trick, really, turning time itself into a tool to show relevance.
Indeed. And I'd like to add that while some learners might initially find the mix of regular and irregular forms a bit daunting, with practice, you soon see the logic behind it.
Yep. I might challenge that slightly. Don't you think that the irregular verbs still pose a significant learning curve for many folks?
That's a fair point. They definitely require extra practice and sometimes memorization. But once you get enough exposure, the patterns become unmistakable, and it all just clicks.
Right. True enough. And on that note, I think these everyday examples really help in bridging that gap. When you use them in context, the rules don't feel so abstract.
Absolutely. So to wrap up, remember, use subject plus have or has plus past participle and supplement with words like yet, already, and just to mark timing, making your language as vivid as the moments we experience every day.
Spot on. Thanks for joining in on this discussion. Keep practicing these examples and see how your command of English just flows naturally.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Keep experimenting with your language, and we'll catch up next time. Cheers!
Cheers, everyone.